Morning everybody, hope you guys are having a wonderful morning today. Today we have a few things that we need to accomplish, and so I'm going to take you guys with me when we do those. So the first thing that we're going to do this morning is, well, we're going to do our animal chores. So we have to let out the ducks and the chickens and feed the dogs and the kittens, but the big project that I'm kind of actually excited about today is we are doing our wood for the winter. So we have to cut up a bunch of wood and we have to fill that woodshed right there. There we go. Yeah, so we have to fill that woodshed because we have a wood burning stove. We do have in-floor heating, and that's kind of the main source of heating, but we do have a wood burning stove, and so we want to use that as much as possible, just so we don't have to spend money. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let out the ducks and the chickens here. So hang tight. Alright, we have 2 eggs this morning. We have one from the regular chickens, the prairie bluebellers, even though they're supposed to lay blue eggs, but that's okay. And then the little guy right there, that's from our silkies. And they're such different sizes. Look at that. Wild. Alright, so we got the ducks and the chickens taken care of. We got 2 eggs, which that's always a fun surprise in the morning. And that's pretty standard. We usually get about 2 eggs or so, and every once in a while we'll get a third, or maybe we'll get a duck egg, but we only have 1 duck that's laying right now. So I'm gonna go let out the dog and feed the kittens, and this is always a fun surprise. We have a German Shepherd puppy. She's got a lot of energy. Hey, dog, sit, hey, sit, sit. 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 Good. Stay. Alright, there you go. Oh, sorry, buddy. She's wild. You guys are already feasting. Let me get it out here. There you go. Alright, so we're going to give our puppy some food, and then that pretty much does it for the morning chores for the animals. We'll give them some food, fresh water, stuff like that. Might play some frisbee with her so that she can burn some energy. And then today, before we do the wood chopping and the wood cutting, we are actually going to be going to our local farmer's market. So we grow a lot of our own stuff already, but there's some things that we can't grow. For whatever reason, it doesn't grow well for us. So we're gonna hit at the local farmer's market this morning, and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, guys, we made it to the farmer's market. So we're just gonna pick up some stuff for some salsa and just some random stuff that we don't grow ourselves and that we can't really get at the local grocery store and stuff. So, and it's just fun to walk around. So we just went and got stuff from the farmer's market. We got a decent amount actually for stuff for salsa. So we got some garlic, we got jalapenos, cilantro, and some tomatoes. So we're gonna go back and probably cook some salsa, make some salsa later. But yeah, got to get to the wood chopping and the firewood collecting. We're gonna start cutting up the firewood here. Two things. I learned so much yesterday about chainsaws because I have been dealing with our chainsaw, which had been broken, or so I thought had been broken, for well over a month. Turns out that chains for chainsaws are much more specific than you would know. So, pro tip from someone who is not a professional at all is on your chainsaw there's a little number which you can't see, but it's right there, a little number, a few different numbers on there, and they denote a few different properties about the chain. So a 16-inch chain is not equal to another 16-inch chain necessarily. I didn't know that. So check on the bar of your chainsaw if you ever need to buy a new chain, and that'll save you a lot of trouble and a lot of money. Another pro tip from someone who is definitely not a pro. I think that might need to be a new segment. Pro tips from a non-professional. When you're doing anything chainsaws, ear protection is pretty much a must. Eye protection, definitely. And if you have them, like the chainsaw, like leg chaps, those are really good. And if you're doing any sort of felling or knocking over or cutting down trees, a hard hat. But I don't have a hard hat or chaps, so I'm gonna be extra careful today. But yeah, the goal, we have 2 trees that are down right now. One fell on one of our fences, and then one fell across our access to the woods, a path leading into the woods, so we can get those 2 cut up, and then we have one big one that's in the woods that's super dead, and so I'm gonna try and get that cut up today if time allows. But yeah, we're just gonna hunker down. We're gonna get as much cut as we can because, like I said earlier, we need to fill up that entire woodshed, and that's a lot of wood. So we're gonna get going. Hashtag good camera work. Alright, so we finished cutting up all of the wood that we're going to cut up for today. It was a lot more work than I thought, but it was good. It was fun to get the chainsaw back out and working, and we got a decent amount. So we might have to do one more day like this for the full winter, but right now I'm going to be chopping up the wood, and we have this whole space here that we need to fill. So that's old wood over there, and we need to fill that entire space. So we'll see how much we have. We might have enough with all the wood that we cut, we might not. And if not, it is what it is. Hoofta. Okay, we are done with the wood for the most part. We still are gonna have to do probably another day or two's worth cutting and then chopping the wood up. But we made a pretty good head start this time. One thing you know when you start homesteading, you know it's gonna be a lot of work. You know that you're gonna have to have some long days. That's one camp. The other camp then is actually doing the work and feeling the sweat and your body being super tired. And that's how I'm feeling right now. So I'm gonna go clean off, and then I think we're gonna cook some dinner. We're gonna make some of the salsa that we made earlier, and then we're gonna make this like shrimp pasta recipe. So I'll be curious to see how that turns out. Got cleaned up, realized how bad I need a haircut, so that's coming this week. I might have taken a little nap too, if you can't tell by the deepness in my voice. We are gonna be making some pico de gallo for an appetizer tonight, and then we're gonna be making some, it's called bang bang shrimp pasta, which sounds interesting, but it's a recipe from Bonefish Grill, I believe it's called. I've never been there, never had it before, but it looked super good, so we're gonna be trying that. And yeah, so I'm gonna get started on the pico. So this is what we need for some pico. We got one big red onion, we got 6 tomatoes. Doesn't really matter what size, but if you can get some of the juice out, it's gonna be a little bit better. A few limes, a few jalapenos, a bushel of cilantro, and then some salt. And a lot of this stuff is just kind of taste it as you go, see if it needs a little bit more salt, a little bit more lime juice, maybe a little bit more cilantro. But yeah, I'm gonna get this stuff cut up, and we'll throw it all together, and it's gonna make something really, really delicious. Give it a shot. That's good. I'm gonna start on the bang bang shrimp pasta, and in the video that I saw, it used a linguine, but we're just gonna use a regular spaghetti. But yeah, with the sauce, it's a mixture of mayo, sriracha, I think a little bit of some sweet chili sauce, and then some called for lime juice. And yeah, so I'm gonna mix all that up, and I'm gonna try and pan sear the shrimp. You can deep fry it. I'm just gonna pan sear it in just some panko. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how this turns out. One thing to note, dry your shrimp before you do any frying or pan searing of it. All right, we got our egg batter, our dry batter, our shrimp, which that should be over there on the other end, and our bang bang sauce. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. I'm gonna throw it up in the pan. I got the pasta going. We're gonna try this out and see how it goes. This is the first time I've ever made it. I really didn't follow a recipe. I threw a bunch of random stuff in it, and I am really curious to see if this actually works. There's a good chance that it's just gonna fail horribly and it's gonna taste bad, really bad. But you never know until you know. We have the finished product. We both threw a little bit more sriracha on here, and then I threw some nutritional yeast flakes. So we're gonna see how this thing tastes.
I like it.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What's your score out of 10?
Well, it definitely needed that extra sriracha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is not something I would normally eat.
Yeah.
but I think it's really good. I don't have a score out of 10. What's your score out of 10?
I'm gonna give it like a 6.
I think I would give it like 6.5, 7.
Yeah, it tastes like a spicy pasta with some shrimp. So look up an actual recipe. Again, do what I say, not as I do, because I did not follow a recipe. But this dish definitely has potential, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for joining me and the family today. If you liked the video, feel free to check out some of our previous videos that we made. But yeah, thanks for stopping by and the day of the life of the homesteader, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.